UCLA needs to show something a little bit different, and it's that off speed.
Vito falls behind, 3 balls and no strikes. And this is her first appearance in the postseason this year. She's pitched in the postseason past years for UCLA. She's a redshirt junior out of San Jose. Green with an RBI base hit her last time up. Goes up after that and fouls it off, and it's a full count. 6 runs, 10 hits for Virginia Tech. UCLA 2 runs, 2 hits, 4 errors.
And it's kind of interesting that, I mean, Virginia Tech, they've been on the West Coast since the Tempe Regional. I mean, this is a team that's just been on softball vacation, if you will.
3-2 pitch misses high, and a leadoff walk to Green to begin the 7th inning. First walk issued by a Bruin pitching tonight. Coming up immediately following softball, it's Sports Center with John Anderson and Michael Leaves here from Giannis and Butler following Bucks Heat Game 3, plus live post-game reaction from Suns Lakers Game 3, and we'll check with the Patriots where Cam Newton and Mac Jones took the field together. Sports Center with Anderson and Eaves coming up after our game on ESPN and ESPN app. Emma Ritter has played a part in that 6-run offense of the Hokies tonight. On base hit, has been hit by pitch, reached on an error, so they have not gotten her out yet tonight. And there's been no 3-up, 3-down inning for UCLA pitching. Virginia Tech has had at least 1 base runner in every inning. Scored 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. UCLA scored their 2 in the bottom of the 5th.
I mean, still a half inning, full inning, if you will, left in this game. But if the score holds and people look at the score, I think a lot of softball fans are just look at the score and think, oh, maybe UCLA just had a bad inning. No. Virginia Tech set the tone for the full game. I mean, like you were just talking about how they've scored and the different innings that they've scored and who they've used in their lineup. It's been a complete team effort.
No doubt. And yes, UCLA is the number 2 overall seed, 12-time champion, defending national champion. The better team tonight, no question to this point, has been Virginia Tech. It's going to go foul. So let me play devil's advocate here with Kenzie Fowler. If this score holds and Virginia Tech takes game 1, we know that Keely Rochard is going to be back in the circle for game 2.
Yes, I'm not a betting person, but
do you feel as confident that it's Rachel Garcia to start tomorrow once again for UCLA?
Not as confident, but I mean, my gut, my softball heart says it's got to be her. It has to be. I mean, an Olympian, 2-time National Player of the Year. You give it to her.
Hit by pitch of Ritter, 2nd time tonight she has been hit by pitch. So a walk and a hit by pitch from Azevedo, and it's 2 on, nobody out for Virginia Tech. Let me follow up with one question. Megan Faramo came in, pitched really well tonight. Does that play any part in your thought process about who may start tomorrow?
I mean, I was thinking that we would see Faramo try and close this thing out. She only came in the 5th inning and looked really good other than one ill-timed wild pitch with the bases loaded. Of course, the run wasn't charged to her. So, I mean, a little bit surprised that I saw her get pulled here. And, of course, that's an option for tomorrow. But you're looking at the face of our sport.
Yes.
I mean, whether she likes it or not, that's her right there.
It's always a very stoic face, a poker face, whatever you want to call it. She does not wear her emotions on her sleeve. She keeps it contained, Rachel Garcia does. But she is one of the greats. We were having a discussion, and we even talked about it in the open of the show tonight, about how great a two-way player Rachel Garcia is because of her hitting and her pitching, no question. But Lisa Fernandez, her pitching coach, really in reality, she reminded us, Lisa Fernandez was a three-way player.
Yeah, three-way.
Three-way player, and then not only did she pitch and hit, but she played a defensive position, primarily third base, which she wasn't pitching. So she really was a three-way player.
Yeah, it's really interesting conversation for us softball nerds to talk about. I know, like in the NBA, the basketball nerds, if you will talk about MJ versus LeBron. I mean, that's what we have here in our sport. We have Lisa Fernandez there on the left, the GOAT of her time. Still, in my opinion, the GOAT because of what she was able to do. And like you're talking about, playing third base as well. And then you have the little GOAT on the right of this newer generation.
A strikeout of Lauder for the first out of the inning. But yeah, the accolades for Lisa Fernandez, winning 3 gold medals, 7-time national champ, 2 of those as a player, 5 as a coach. And when you have a 0.22 career ERA, I mean, I can't even say it without laughing. It's so ridiculously
It's
good.
like 2 runs. I mean,
yeah.
Again, I'm not good with math, but I know that's like not a lot of runs.
No.
Still pitches some BP. Seen her out there on the field.
Two 2-0 on Troll. Well, looking ahead to the UCLA 7. 4, 5, and 6 hitters will be due up. They're going to trail it by at least 4. Be down to the last 3 outs in game 1 of this best-of-3 Los Angeles Super Regional.
I just feel like, I mean, we can't hide the fact, and we have to talk about Rachel Garcia. We have to talk about the tradition for UCLA. It's just, it is what it is. They're the most dominant program in our sport.
Yes.
We have to talk about it. I just feel like Virginia Tech doesn't care. They just, okay.
Which, if you're Virginia Tech, that's exactly the mindset you have to have, isn't it?
It's one thing to say we don't care, but it's another thing to show it in your play and to show up and come into Easton Stadium and hang out on the West Coast for 2 weeks straight. Take down take down the seeded team in Arizona State. Take it pretty easily, matter of fact. And just hang it on the West Coast. All right, who's next? What do we need to do? Where do we need to go?
Well, when we do get to the bottom of the inning, Virginia Tech will be 3 defensive outs away if they can hang on to making this a really good night for the ACC, because Florida State beat LSU in our earlier game tonight. Virginia Tech trying to do the same here for the ACC in Los Angeles tonight. The ACC, Virginia Tech finished 4th in the regular season in the ACC. Clemson won it. Florida State was 2nd, Duke 3rd. Notre Dame was 5th. There's a look at the bracket. Florida State won today in Baton Rouge. Of course, it hasn't been that long since Florida State won a national championship.
Wouldn't it be something if the 2 ACC teams came into the host sites and walked out of there?
Walk through on the outside edge. to get Troll. Back-to-back strikeouts for Azevedo.
And back-to-back strikeouts looking for Virginia Tech that you can just tell. I think the scouting report was heavy on Rachel Garcia and heavy on Megan Framo, so not really sure what Azevedo looks like. Not sure what her pitches are breaking like. Goes to a drop ball on the outside part of the plate. Another strikeout looking.
Top of the order, Kelsey Brown. Another chance for her to bounce her off Azevedo. Coming around third. Green to the plate. She'll score. Kelsey Brown's second hit of the game. And it's 7-2, Virginia Tech.
Kelsey Brown is exactly what you want as a leadoff. She's fiery. She has good at-bats. She has great barrel control. And I've talked about how she's wanting to bounce the ball. So with runner in scoring position, she says, I'm going to power up. This is what a slap hitter can do. Not going to need a home run. I just need to square something up, find a hole, find a line drive. Yeah, look at those numbers, what she's been able to do in that leadoff spot.
Cameron Fagan has had a big night tonight with 3 hits. She had homered in each of the last 2 games of the regional in Tempe against Arizona State and BYU. Fagan dealt with an injury during the season. She had been the shortstop. The injury limited her mobility, especially side to side. So they flipped Fagan and Kelsey Bennett. Bennett was playing third. Fagan was at short, and they just flipped those two, and that's where they've been playing here for the last number of weeks. Out to third. Another fumble and no play for Ulu. Well, this is probably the most surprising thing for me tonight. 5 errors now for UCLA with this one here.
This is what short gaming and slapping can do to a defense. There's a lot of conversation right now about the long ball and how do you score. Is slapping dead? No. In postseason, this is how you put the pressure on against a very good pitching staff.
And if you're UCLA, you hope this isn't contagious, because Ulu, who has been dynamite at third base as a true freshman, that's the first error she has committed at third base all season. All season. Now, granted, she hasn't played there every day, every game, but it's a big enough sample size to say, hey, wow.
She's been busy over at third base. Think of Kelsey Brown, Cameron Fagan, Darby Troll at the bottom of the lineup. Even Addie Green throwing some short game as well.
DP Alex Milius. In the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. All inside. Let's take a look at this last bat and Fagan getting down the line. Seemed to be favoring the right leg. Staying in there at first base. Strikeout ends the inning. Tech leaves the bases loaded, but they do pick up 1. But right now, they are 3 defensive outs away from taking game 1 in LA. 7-2 home.